Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is the Blockchain Backer bringing you the latest cryptocurrency news and analysis. Today, we're going to take a look at the Ripple XRP price chart. We're also going to peek over there at Bitcoin because Bitcoin has broken to the upside. Yesterday, we were talking about it kind of being just stuck in the middle. It needed to choose a direction. It has chosen a direction. It's gone up to the Fibonacci retracement levels we were looking at. So we'll peek closer at that because that thing has been dictating what this market has been doing. So we'll peek at Bitcoin. First, we're going to dive here into the XRP price chart. Now, I've had a lot of people asking me, why aren't we spending more time looking at the XRP price chart? Really, the things that I've said about XRP's price chart here in particular are really just it. And really, there's not a whole lot to say in regards to kind of sitting here in consolidation at this point after we've already had the crash. The thing we're waiting for, of course, is for a catch up to the rest of the market. If this thing was to just do a catch up to the market, it'd be at about $2.30. The total altcoin market cap has retraced 70% of its bear market. XRP is sitting the furthest away from its retracement out of all of the major cryptos. I haven't looked at every single one of them, but for all the ones that I watch, it's absolutely the furthest down. Right now, we have a bunch of catalysts coming in for XRP in regards to Coinbase going to be halting trading on the 19th. Also, yesterday, Grayscale announced that they've been liquidating all of their XRP from their investment funds. So from their large cap fund, they liquidated all of them at 24 cents. Let's see, they said they did it on January 4th. So somewhere here around 24 cents, 23 cents is where Grayscale liquidated everything from their large cap fund. Now they just announced that they just did their XRP fund as well has now been liquidated as well. So we've seen downward pressure coming from institutional investors as well right now, right? I think it's actually pretty exciting to see that the institutional investors have already been liquidating and the prices have been holding themselves even while the institutional investors are liquidating on the open market. Because what does this mean? It means prices were able to hold through all of that downward pressure, and that downward pressure, for the most part, has likely already completed. Most of these institutions have already let go of it at this point. They've said, I can't do it anymore, and they're out. And what does that mean? That means if things get cleared up, imagine, so I keep trying to say, what are the things that are positive that we can look at? What are the optimistic things that we can look at? One, if everything gets cleared up with Ripple and the SEC, well, then XRP is going to be positioned to have the best regulatory clarity out of any of the major cryptocurrencies out there. You open up the doors for the number of people who are willing to actually invest. We've heard about it all the time that people are, bullish on Ripple, but, and kind of not so bullish on the digital asset XRP. It has a lot to do with all this regulatory uncertainty of what's happening here on whether or not XRP is a security, Ripple having full control over so many of the XRP and being able to sell them at a discount, all that stuff, right? All that uncertainty provided a lot of cloud over XRP, the digital asset. But if we get that regulatory clarity, we get rules in place, and we have where Ripple is disclosing exactly how much they're selling, what they're selling it at, what kind of timetable they have to do it at, or if they, what if they're not even able to sell it at all anymore? I have no idea. I have no idea how this thing's actually going to play out. But the one thing I know is that if this thing does clear up and if everything is given the green light at that point, what happens? You have retail FOMO that takes place, and then you have all the institutions that sold the bottom, and they've got to come back. So right now, in regards to doing technical analysis on XRP, those are kind of the things we have to wait on, right? We have to wait on what's going to happen to the market once this Coinbase stuff happens, right, on the 19th. I don't know if there's going to be a FOMO run on XRP on the last day because they're not going to be able to buy it anymore on Coinbase, and they're going to say, you know what, I'm just going to buy it and hold on to it and lock it away. Or are we going to see people actually just dump it on that last day as much as they can to get rid of it? We don't really know what's going to happen there on that last day on the 19th when Coinbase halts trading for XRP. So we're kind of just in this wait and see moment at this time for how that's going to play out. And then at the same time, we're in a wait and see moment for how this SEC stuff's going to play out as well. But the one thing that we do know is that XRP has tended to have a bull run during every alt season. So the thing I've really been focused on right now is what's within my control, right? A lot of the stuff with XRP right now is just not within my control to be able to figure out how is it going to play out on the 19th for Coinbase? How is it going to play out with the SEC? How's it going to play out with institutions FOMOing back? That stuff is in the future of what I can't, it's just out of my control entirely. But the things that are within my control, and I can't impact the charts or impact the prices, but I can see, hey, you know what? I know that XRP has taken off during every alt season. And the thing that I can look for is when is the next alt season going to come? And that has always been dictated by Bitcoin. So hopefully the stuff with the SEC clears up soon. Hopefully the event with Coinbase is a non-event. But I can't predict how those things will happen. The things that I can try to do is look over there at Bitcoin and say, what are we doing over here with Bitcoin? When do we historically see the bull run? And maybe XRP has its own bull run because one of these catalysts happened, right? The SEC clears everything up, the institutions come fumbling back in, and then off and away we go. Or I can revert back to what are the things that I know, and I know that XRP has taken off during all of the alt seasons. So right now on Bitcoin, I'm trying to figure out, when is that? Because if I can figure out when that is, then I could try to figure out when XRP is going to have a chance to at least take off during an alt season, whether or not the SEC stuff clears up, whether or not the Coinbase stuff matters. But what we do know about the XRP price chart is that it's super undervalued compared to the rest of the market. And if it was fairly priced with the market, it would be over $2 right now. So it's incredibly discounted at this time. And so, since we're waiting on things to kind of play out over there with XRP, the thing that we can look at is try to figure out, when is that alt season going to take place? And really, Bitcoin usually tells us a story of when that's going to happen. So here in the coming days or weeks, however long this takes to play out, it's really important that we're looking over here at Bitcoin. The percentages on Bitcoin are dismal. I have zero interest in the amount of percentages that are being offered up here by Bitcoin. I mean, I'm talking, if my personal target for Bitcoin at the alt, when it tops out and the game's done for Bitcoin, is like at $70,000 to $80,000. That's 100% from right now, right? That's nothing. It's the absolute worst potential gains you could get in this market when you look at it compared to pretty much every other digital asset in this market. It has a higher percentage opportunity. Maybe a couple of them not so much, but almost all, 99% of them, it seems. So looking at Bitcoin is not to be like, hey, we're going to make a ton of money on Bitcoin. It's really just to figure out, when is the alt season going to begin? Because we've gone through these charts so many times to show that Bitcoin tells a story of when that happens. Bitcoin leads the way, then Bitcoin tells the story, hey, altcoins, it's time for you. So right now, we're looking at the price. It's now up there at $39,000. We're going to have this hourly candle close in here in just a second. But yesterday, we were right down in here talking about we needed to choose a direction, that there were Fibonacci retracement levels up here. Last night, I posted over on my Twitter, Bitcoin has retraced back to critical Fibonacci levels. In an ABC correction, these levels typically stop it out and it will fall down to lower lows. Otherwise, a break to the upside above these levels signals price will likely set new all-time highs. And well, there we have it. The hourly candle just closed right now. We closed above the 0.702 Fibonacci retracement level. So level number 1 has been taken out on the hourly time frame, closing that candle up there. The next step is going to be getting above this 0.786 Fibonacci retracement. In 2017, the corrections typically had the same type of feel to them. And really what you see is you see a big fall, then you see a retracement back up to these levels right here, either the 0.702 or the 0.786, then the price would roll over to set new lows. That was a normal correction that we had multiple times throughout 2017. I believe we had it 4 different times where there was these big corrections that were about 40% corrections. They all had the same kind of look and feel to them with the same kind of structure. You just fall once, you retrace a 702 or 786, then you fall over and do it again. However, sometimes they had some tricks up their sleeves, and the first one, this first initial fallback that you see of about 20 to 25%, wasn't actually the beginning. It actually went on to set even higher highs, and then we started it. So that's the thing that I'm looking for right now. I'm looking to see that, hey, are we going to actually start this really deep down correction for Bitcoin right now, and then start our alt season once that correction is over? Or are we going to do like what we saw in 2013, and Bitcoin's going to break out above these levels right here, go a little bit higher than those highs we just saw back there at 42,000, maybe get up there into the lower 50s or so, then the thing just completely falls apart, and then alt season goes absolutely ham. But right now is kind of one of these critical moments, and I hope you can kind of see that now. If you've had like no interest in Bitcoin at all, and I'm talking about Bitcoin, this is an important level right here at the 702, the 786 Fibonacci retracement level, because this typically led to corrections back in 2017, if this is actually that moment. Otherwise, I could see us, coming up higher, then we start doing it, and then we go on to do our big correction. So right now it's trying to figure out, are we actually in the correction right now? Are we going to see prices really start to fall apart in this market right now? Or are we going to see them fall down again later? And if you want to see an example of that, so this is the 2017 bull run for Bitcoin. We'll kind of zoom in on these little corrections that we have in here. But you could see that once Bitcoin really started moving down, there was these retracements. So you had your first initial crash that took you way down. Then you had your retracement back up. Let's see, here we go. back up into the 702, 786 Fibonacci retracement level before then it rolled over and had its big deeper ABC, right? So we look at it like this, and I'll show you these ABCs so you can see A, B, C, right? So then we can move over here to this one right here. So here's our next big correction that we had right here. We'll zoom in on this one, and you can see that you had ABC as well, right back up to the 702, right? So you have A, retrace back to this retracement level, B, C. And then that's how you do it, right? So we had that over and over again throughout the cryptocurrency bull run, throughout Bitcoin moving its way up, right? A, B, C. And so now you can kind of see the things that I'm looking at right here. We're back at the 786 now. We actually, even just while I was going over there looking at that, we saw that it's now popping up here to this 39,450. So we're getting right up to that 786 now. We just actually touched it just a minute ago. And so now it's seeing whether or not, are we going to get through here and go set some higher highs now? Or do we start a deeper correction? And so it's a pretty big critical moment. This is like a big time right now for Bitcoin, seeing, is this actually the beginning of a C leg that's about to start to where this market goes down much further? Or are we going to break up higher? My guess is going to be that it's going to break through it and it's going to go a little higher, and then we're going to have that big deeper correction later that's eventually going to lead to a monstrous alt season that's going to come. But it's something that I don't discount here. I don't discredit this because this is absolutely possible at this point. But my opinion still stays that I think we're probably going to go higher. But we can't say that until we start getting through these levels. And right now, it's right there at that last Fibonacci retracement level as I'm speaking right now. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. I'm looking for it to break up higher. Then we have a deep correction later. So this is kind of just like the warning shot that's happened right here. If it isn't already in the ABC, then this would just be kind of our warning shot for the big correction that is coming. But either way, I don't think alt season has begun yet, but we're getting really close to those steps happening for it to. And I think the most obvious thing to me would be if that Bitcoin does break through these levels, set some new highs, and then boom, we get that big fall. That would just be a perfect scenario of alt season to absolutely begin. And like we mentioned with XRP, a lot of those things are out of our control, in figuring out when the SEC and Ripple lawsuit's going to get cleared up, figuring out what's going to happen with the short-term price action, on the 19th when Coinbase suspends trading and halts trading for everybody on their platform. Those things are out of our control. The things that are within our control is saying, you know what, we do know that XRP has gone on a bull run during every alt season, so we can look at Bitcoin to say, Bitcoin, tell us a story. When's that alt season coming? And right now, Bitcoin's at a very critical level of this retracement. So throughout the rest of today, I'm going to be keeping my eyes on this, keeping my eyes on Bitcoin and what it's going to do here at these retracement levels. If it does break through these levels, I might create another video later this afternoon discussing it, as long as it's not in the evening time when it finally does do it. I wouldn't be surprised if we do have to stay in this region for a day or two. Just because we find some resistance in here doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to break down from here, but I would expect there to be some resistance and holding back in this level. So I'll be keeping my eyes on this throughout the rest of the day, looking to see the direction of what Bitcoin chooses, and then giving you guys my opinions on what I think that means if it does. So people who don't really watch the charts and understand Fibonacci's may not think of it as such a big deal today of where we are at the price action, but it's a huge deal. This is a monstrous deal for Bitcoin's price right here at this price level at this exact moment. So we'll keep an eye on that. We'll keep an eye on XRP. We'll keep an eye on the altcoin market, looking for that alt season to begin. But I'll go ahead and start wrapping this thing up. You guys could check out my website over here. It's bcbacker.com. I have 26 videos on here where I deep dive into the previous Bitcoin bull runs and the altcoin market cycles, or the alt seasons, talking about how they've all worked together, what my exit plans are, a lot of the things that I've learned throughout the cryptocurrency market in the years that I've been here. Recently, I added some part 2 updates in here to kind of give price updates. You can kind of see what were my thoughts several months ago, what are my thoughts now, kind of see how things have progressed over time. And then I have also included a new chart in here where I'm kind of tracking all of my altcoins at once to figure out how to rebalance and rotate my portfolio. So you can check all this out over here on bcbacker.com. You can follow me over here on Twitter at bcbacker. And I want to thank you guys so much for watching my channel. If you could, please like this video and give it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you could be notified of when I create new content and when I go live. As always, this is not investment advice and I am not a financial advisor. But if you ever need a pick-me-up or a little bit of reassurance, just remember that the blockchain backers got your back. Have a good one.